Welcome everyone to One Warrior Wrestling. We are live from Washington, D.C. And we have got our opening contest against Ciaran Culsworth versus Cole Black. Cole Black hitting a big German suplex. And this one is starting off hot and heavy. Cole Black taking control with a Brock lock to Ciaran Culsworth. And a backdrop driver by Culsworth. This one starting almost in progress. Black now just hammering in the punches and a discus line as well from Cole Black. Ciaran Culsworth, of course, representing the 666 Dojo. Ciaran Culsworth has Cole Black up on the top of his shoulders. Cole Black, a former world champion in various promotions that need not be named. Cole Black has just been giving it to Ciaran Culsworth, though. Grabbing Ciaran by the back of the hair, but Ciaran fighting out. This is a hell for leather slugfest we got going on here. Big belly-to-belly suplex there, and now pulling on the face. Ciaran Culsworth reversing Cole Black for another backdrop driver. No, just a back plant suplex, belly to back style, and Ciaran Culsworth goes to the top. What does he have in mind here? Diving crossbody attempt, and Cole caught and captured. Big upside down frown by Cole Black. Gave him the clap. And now has him eyed up for the lethal dose of poison. The LDP locked in on Ciaran Culsworth. Ciaran now managing to escape, however. Lifting up Cole Black for a release suplex into a Falcon Arrow. And Ciaran Culsworth staying on top of the offense. Stomping on the hand of Cole Black. Cole reversing an attempted offense, grabbing Ciaran Culsworth and just drilling him into the mat. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Ciaran Culsworth, and Cole Black has just been showcasing his dominance of the wrestling game. As him, no, went for Black Tar Heroin, nobody home. Ciaran Culsworth went running, but Black had the counter up and over. Cole Black stalking here as Ciaran Culsworth gets to his feet. Cole Black grabs him. Backdrop driver on the floor. What a landing for Ciaran Culsworth, who begins to get back up. But Cole not too happy with that. Ciaran Culsworth manages to reverse, but Cole, the more experienced of the two, throws Ciaran back in the ring, and he's stalking after him once again. Slams his head down. Ciaran Culsworth continuing to fight from underneath, as we've seen him do. Paul smackage by Cole Quinn. 1, 2. And the inexperience nearly cost Ciaran Culsworth the match there. You know, Michael Young, his prized protege, Ciaran Culsworth, would love to get a win here, as would Michael Young in the main event, love to win the WW Heavyweight Championship. But Cole Black showcasing some expert technical work against Ciaran Culsworth here. Culsworth holding his own for the most part, but he's got to start getting some offense in. Picks up Cole Black. Drills him with an air raid bomb. 1, 2. Kick out. Fantastic air raid bomb there by Culsworth. Was not quite enough, but he's got to stay on Cole Black. That's what's going to get him the win. Picks him up, Pile driver onto Cole Black. Ciaran in the corner. What could he be looking for here? Punt kick right to the mouth. A 3-hit combo. 1, 2. And Cole kicks out of that 3-hit combo. The air raid bomb, the pile driver, and the punt kick. Not quite enough. Cole Black not quite to his senses. Ciaran Culsworth, look at the agility for the rope walk drop kick. Cole back to his feet, runs in and nails him with that clothesline. We saw him do this earlier, gave him the clap. And the lethal dose of poison once again locked in on Ciaran Culsworth. Will he submit here or will he have the escape? LDP locked in deep, but Ciaran once again has the counter, picked the lock to get free. Shots now from Culsworth, going for a spine buster. No, an exploder suplex by Culsworth. Now just stomping on the hand and fingers of Cole Black, and a big knee drop as well. Ciaran Culsworth raking at the eyes of Cole Black. Grabbing Cole, but Cole had the counter with the elbows to the chest region. And now just the punches, has him hooked. Black Tar, heroin in the center of the ring. 1, 2. No! Ciaran Culsworth kicks out of BDH. Managed to get the shoulder up at the last possible second. These two stallions fighting one another like there is nothing left to give. Big German suplex there by Cole. He's got the arm trapped. He's got that label lock applied, and he is cranking it, and Ciaran forced to submit. Cole had to go unorthodox to get the win. Cole Black had to go with a maneuver that we've never seen him use to put away that young stallion, Ciaran Culsworth. If I'm Michael Young, I'm very proud of my protege as we move into our next contest. And as we get into our first championship match of the evening, it is time for the Dragon Queen Championship as Daphne dangerously takes on Estrella Elite. Daphne dangerously made somewhat of a name for herself on FNF by showcasing some incredible strength and determination of will. Now finds herself in Washington, D.C. for One Warrior Wrestling USA, the first episode. And Daphne dangerously all business, as we saw in her matches and other promotions. Will she be able to become the first ever Dragon Queen champion, though? And now making her way out here, Estrella Elite. A Japanese wrestling legend born just too late to experience the original One Warrior Wrestling. Famed for its incredible women's division, which paved the way for what we still see in women's wrestling nearly 30 years later. But Estrella Elite carries on that legacy and that lineage, and her devastating King Kong knee drop is one you want to avoid if you are Daphne dangerously, because if she hits that, then I think it's almost a guarantee that she walks out of here with the Dragon Queen Championship. what they're fighting for right there. The Dragon Queen Championship on the line. And it is to be the most prestigious championship of this division. The only championship of this division to be settled between two fantastic competitors. Estrella Elite going to use her speed early to take advantage. Nice multiple kick combo, followed up with the kick to the knee. Up to the top, could be looking King Kong already. No, Swanton! Rough landing, flawless execution though. Estrella with a diving moonsault off the top as well. Estrella goes for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out by Daphne dangerously at 2. That was quite an early 2 count for Estrella Elite. Not just grabbing her and just stomping repeatedly on the chest region of Daphne dangerously. Daphne up, runs in and clotheslines Estrella over the top rope, and that is how you get back into it. Does give Estrella the chance to get back in on her own 2 feet though. A lot of respect being shown early on in the corner. Back elbow, very tight connection there by Daphne dangerously. Estrella spins her over. Daphne with the back elbow. And a big teardrop suplex. Daphne holds on. Look at the power for a second one, and I don't think she's done. A third one incoming. Teardrop suplexes. Vicious. Now Estrella laying in the strikes, headbutt low from Estrella Elite, kicking and punching and smacking. Daphne hitting so infrequently comparatively, but dealing almost twice as much damage, you'd have to presume, as they take it to the outside. No countouts here in One Warrior Wrestling, but it does have to finish in the ring. Look at Daphne! Back body drop there from the master. And now looking to possibly get her back in the ring. No, another back body drop and a kip up from Daphne dangerously, showcasing that she can have some agility to her power game. Cool, calm, and collected in the corner. Daphne dangerously is. Estrella Elite gets to her feet. Daphne gonna once again give her the space. We've seen a lot of respect shown from Dangerously, and that respect not being reciprocated by Estrella Elite. Kick to the stomach. Shining Wizard, shades of Keiji Muto. And Estrella could be looking double K knee drop. Up top. King Kong from Estrella Elite. 1, 2. Daphne kicks out of the King Kong. Estrella Elite now in close proximity, but Daphne countered. Big running knee from Dangerously. A regal knee trembler grabs Estrella by the throat, but Estrella had the counter. Could have been looking choke breaker. Estrella luckily able to get out of the way of it. Tiger Driver 92 from Estrella Elite. And a moonsault to the back as well. Estrella is on fire. Daphne needs to get back into this one, but Estrella Elite not going to let that happen. Looks like she's going for a brainbuster. Daphne had the counter. Hooks her. T-bone from Daphne Dangerously. And now a Liger Bomb from Dangerously as well. Some fantastic power by Daphne, now just yanking on the chin of Estrella Elite. Could look to get the submission win here. We saw our first match of the evening, Ciaran Culsworth versus Cole Blacken in submission. A TNA kick countered by Daphne Dangerously. Could have been looking for another Shining Wizard. Daphne grabs her. Choke slam, no, countered by Estrella Elite. And the bomb IA. 1, 2. Daphne kicks out of the Kame-Goye there. And now the elbow, the view from halfway down, followed by the clubs to the back, and Estrella showing no rest for the wicked. Moonsault to the back. Picking her up. TNA kick. Shining Wizard to Daphne dangerously. Going for it for a second time. The King Kong, this could do it. Daphne moves out of the way. Estrella is in danger. Choke breaker from dangerously. 1, 2. Estrella kicks out of the choke breaker. Daphne finally hit it after attempting it 3 or 4 times at this point. Daphne countered, kick to the leg, and just a smack in the mouth. Daphne fires back with a punch, and now just rocking her with those lefts. Shot to the stomach by Estrella. Estrella grabbing Daphne dangerously here, and just snake eyes her. Daphne in a bad way. Kame Goye once again from Estrella Elite. Goes back up, could be looking for another King Kong. Shooter off the top, shooting star press. What form, what grace. 1, 2. No, Daphne dangerously at the last possible second. Got that shoulder up for a second time here. Bamaye, Kame Goye, excuse me. Has Daphne in the perfect position. King Kong for the second time. That's gotta do it. 1, 2, 3. Estrella Elite gets the W and the championship. Estrella Elite doing in the second incarnation what she could never have had the opportunity to do in the original One Warrior Wrestling. Estrella Elite wins the Dragon Queen Championship. As we move into our next contest after this. And as we get into our next championship match here in Washington, D.C., it is time for Los Hijos del Dragón. Cesar Samuels and Cazador Jr., the Sons of the Dragon, to take on Aire del Aire and Gavin Daniels. More on that in a second. But Cesar Samuels and Cazador Dragón, the 2 sons of the late great Cazador Dragón. Cesar, the oldest, the most successful, a former multiple-time champion. Cazador Dragón had a great deal of success in Japan, but has yet to really find a footing for himself here in America. But they are finally, and for the first time in history, teaming up together. The brothers, who have always had a bit of a friendly family rivalry, are now finally on the same page here in the company that they helped found along with Axel and Brittany Hyatt. They helped secure the rights to the One Warrior Wrestling name, but elected not to be backstage officials, not to be EVPs. They wanted a place to wrestle, and that's exactly what they're going to get. Out first, Aire del Aire, a man very familiar with both of these two. Of course, Aire del Aire won his first world championship in wrestling by defeating Cesar Samuels in an all-time classic matchup. Aire del Aire, the son of Kazuya Mitsushi, someone who was instrumental in the original incarnation of One Warrior Wrestling, the Final Boss as he was then known. Aire del Aire has yet to truly live up to those standards, but that is not to say that Aire del Aire is one to ignore. Truly something phenomenal in the ring, Aire del Aire is. But he is going to have to be teaming up with a strange bedfellow, to say the least. In the form of Gavin Daniels. So let's see, can they coexist? Of course, for those unfamiliar with the history, Gavin Daniels attempted to end Aire Delaire's career on more than one occasion. They were actually set to have a loser leaves town match in Wednesday Night Warriors. But following some contractual mishaps, the Punk Rock Paradox and the King of the Sky are now tag team partners. Very interesting times to be a viewer of One Warrior Wrestling USA, but Gavin Daniels, he has said that he has learned his lesson and that he is a better man for it. The Punk Rock Paradox, a former world champion in WNW, defeated Aire Delaire for it in contentious circumstances. You saw him say right there, time for a new chapter. Let's see if he can put that word into action. Gavin Daniels, a master of tag team professional wrestling. More than probably anyone else in this matchup. That's what they're fighting for right there. The one WW Doubles Championship is on the line. One fall to a finish here. Let's get into this one. This promises to be brutal. And Aire Delaire went for an assault, but Gavin Daniels tried to line up Cesar Samuels for some tag team offense. Didn't work. Twist and cutter there by Aire Delaire. Standing shooting star by Aire as well as Gavin Daniels and Cesar Samuels. A match that truly never really happened in WNW for the world title, as they were just separated each other, sort of different generations of that short-lived brand. Cazador Jr. laying in the shots to Aire Delaire. Another first-time matchup despite both men's extensive histories in both Mexico and Japan. They have never wrestled one another. Gavin Daniels caught by Cesar Samuels. Matrix Revolutions from Samuels. Cazador Jr., is just laying in on Aire, but Aire with a stiff headbutt. And a Kame Goye from Aire Delaire falls into the cover. Cesar back to his feet against Gavin, picks up Daniels. Another standing shooting star by Aire Delaire as Cesar just tosses Gavin Daniels. Big Arabian press and a standing shooting star by Cesar there. Another Kame Goye to Cazador Jr. Keep your eyes on Gavin Daniels pulling on the leg. One kick out by Cazador Jr. Cesar, the biggest man in this match by some margin. Standing shooting star by Cazador Jr., but he stands up and grabs Gavin Daniels by the eyes. Kick, and now El Hijo del Dragon all alone with Gavin Daniels, but Daniels, a hell of a fighter, is not going to go down without at least throwing a few punches. Look at that, went for the drop kick. Cesar hyping up his brother, Cazador Jr. Big neck breaker. And now Cesar could be looking to look under the ring, and he is. All right, putting a stop to that, though, knowing there could be some plunder under there. As Gavin goes for the pin on Cazador Jr., gets a 2. Nearly won the tag team championships there. Standing shooting star on the floor by Cesar Samuels. Gavin Daniels has him up. London's calling on Cazador Jr. 1, 2, and nearly got the win there. Gavin Daniels spinning Cazador Jr. on Regoplex on the head. There were a few matches in WNW between Cesar and Aire. Cesar won the first, Aire the second. They never had a tiebreaker. Gavin with the kick in the face. Aire back in the ring, but immediately back out. This does have to end in the ring. Cesar back in the ring. Cesar looking to dive, and he nearly took out Aire, but Aire barely evaded him, and Cesar could have been brutally injured there. Good Lord. A painful looking landing roundhouse from Gavin Daniels. Cesar back up, running Rana. Shooting star and another high roundhouse. Cesar seems to be walking around just fine, which was a real worry. I was concerned he injured himself there on that attack. Running drop kick by Cazador Jr. Aire now trying to get back into it on Cesar. Samuels looking for a tiger driver on the floor. Nails it! Sweeps the leg of Gavin Daniels, does Cazador Jr. And this match, nobody really looking like they even have an advantage. Aire grabbed a sledgehammer, but was unable to put it to use. Cesar just now seeming like he's almost disappointed in his best friend. Look at Cazador Jr. Middle rope moonsault. And a big roundhouse kick from Aire. Cazador Jr. up on the top rope. Tornillo! Aire's gonna have to get in. 1, 2. Last second, broke it up. That was nearly tag team champions right there in Los Hijos del Dragon. Cazador Jr. grabbing a bat and just hitting Gavin Daniels in the back with it. Gavin managing to disarm him. Grabbing Cazador by the mask lacing. Big moonsault there by Cesar Samuels. Hooks the legs. 1, 2, and Gavin there to break that up. Both of them have been on top of it. Big Rana. 2. Gavin Daniels rolls to the floor. Bulldog on the bat by Cesar Samuels. And that could be all the setup he needs. Big splash, but Aire got the knees up. That Bulldog on the bat could have just put an end to his night, but he stayed alive. Kazuya, kill shot. 2, Cesar Samuels. 1, 2, Cazador barely able to break it up. Cazador Jr. managed to get it on the shoulders. London's calling on the bat. Cesar preoccupied. 1, but he's there to break it up. And now Cesar going to the top. Looks like he may have been trying to jump, but Aire wisely rolled to the outside. Gavin grabbed a Singapore cane, but can't decide if he wants to use it, and it's gonna cost him. Big shot in the chest. Look at Cesar Samuels, has Aire. Oh my goodness, this doesn't end well. Running Aire into the barrier at ringside. Good Lord. Double knee face breaker there. And now Aire running in to try and save Gavin, but Gavin saved himself, and Aire may have just suffered the consequences. He was hooshed into the barrier. Look at Cesar Samuels, but he came up short. That could have been devastating. Suplex by Cazador Jr. Aire firing back. Cesar blocking. Running drop kick by Gavin Daniels. Yoshi Tonic by Cesar. 1, 2. Gavin nearly got the win, but Cazador Jr. kicked out. Cesar Samuels back on Aire with a drop kick on the shoulders. London's calling by Gavin Daniels, center ring. 1, 2, 3. Gavin Daniels and Aire are the inaugural doubles champions. Gavin Daniels, Aire managed to coexist here tonight and defeated Los Hijos del Dragon. What a story that is. As we move in to our next contest, what a match. Even a show of respect. And as we get into our next contest here in DC, it is another first-time matchup as Aiden Flynn takes on Jondero Ortiz. Aiden Flynn, a former PGW, heavyweight champion, the final person to hold that belt. He calls himself the global icon. And he is actually here on a bit of an invasion. He is representing Morgan and Associates from Tuesday Night Titans. He says he wants to take on anyone because this is an expedition of sorts. He is here to map out one WW and claim it, much like Tuesday Night Titans, as M&A territory. Aiden Flynn, a devastating striker, a surprising high flyer, and a master of the Tiger Driver. What will he be able to do here tonight? The mind wonders. As he looks to take on Jondero Ortiz, a third-generation superstar, the man who calls himself El Futuro. Jondero Ortiz has been one to watch since he was just a kid, but now that he has matured into the professional wrestler you see before you, an absolute stud in and out of the ring, no questions asked. Jondero Ortiz has been spending a lot of time focusing on getting better at things that he lacked in. And now I think he could very well be, or at least lay claim to one of the best in the world. Let's get into this one. Aiden evading the shot and hitting a German immediately. Rough landing there. Stomp to the back of the arm. Jondero Ortiz with a kick in the stomach. And these two now laying in full force back elbow from Aiden Flynn. And Jondero already on the back foot to the global icon. Falling down. Shooting star press. Countered by Ortiz. That's what I'm talking about. Deceptively agile, Aiden Flynn, big forearm smash by Jondero Ortiz. Of course, Jondero's father, El Maestro, no stranger to One Warrior Wrestling. Aiden just threw Jondero off the damn turnbuckle and slammed his head into the mat, or into the apron. Good Lord. Jondero back up. That was a rough landing. Aiden Flynn putting Jondero on the ropes, shooting him off, duck down. Oh, he's running after him. Big lariat, and Jondero sent tumbling. Good Lord, that was rough. Aiden Flynn with a body splash, but Jondero got the knees up. Aiden now, look at the disrespect. Tiger Driver to the king of them. target the ginormous brace on Flynn's right leg. Well, it's popular theory that Flynn actually does not need that brace and only wears it to deal more damage, so Jondero may be doing himself some favors by targeting the other leg. Remove his base, as it were, and Jondero is going insane. What a roaring forearm that was. Grabbing the arm and now taking him for a walk. Up, down, and Cazadora off the ropes. Fantastically done. Jondero Ortiz in control, but Aiden Flynn reverses the tides just like that. Aiden Flynn grabbing Jondero here and just whooshing him out of the ring. Good Lord, what a rough landing for Jondero. And now Aiden just stomping on the arm and a shooting star on the floor, no less. Jondero thrown into the steps by Aiden Flynn. Such a contrasting styles, and there's the brace coming into play by Aiden Flynn. We know he loves to use that. Stomping the head there. Aiden Flynn, no stranger to using everything at his disposal as a weapon. Jondero thrown into the barrier at ringside, but managed to counter. Big neck breaker on Aiden Flynn. Flynn back to his feet, so Jondero throws him to the side. Flynn getting back to his feet. Jondero almost inviting him, saying, "What of it? Think I'm afraid of you?" Big miss, like ships passing in the night. In the corner, Jondero puts Aiden, but Aiden once again making that knee brace present felt. Oh, this could be bad. Off the ropes, roaring forearm, shades of the Emerald Tiger, or of Tanaka. Many others who have utilized the roaring forearm, and a big neck breaker there as well. This has been a heavy-handed matchup thus far. Not a single punch pulled. I can assure you, lots of kicks being exchanged here. Look at that bicycle knee by Jondero. Jondero up to the top. Aiden Flynn starting to rise. Double axe handle by Ortiz. Just grinding his foot on the face of Aiden Flynn, and Flynn is in the splash zone, but he gets back to his feet once again. Jondero, moonsault into a crossbody to the back. What in the world was that? Some innovative offense from Jondero Ortiz. Warrior splash evaded by Aiden Flynn, and he's got him caught. Tiger's driver, drop dead, high stack, 1, 2. Jondero nearly put away by the drop dead Tiger driver, the DDTD, so devastating. Jondero caught the foot into the snap DDT, and Flynn flipped around. Knee to the arm of Aiden Flynn. Jondero Ortiz has him up, has him cooked. Dead level, nivel muerto. 1, 2. Aiden kicks out of dead level. Both men have hit their best shots, and each man has kicked out. What a smack in the face. A statement from Jondero, perhaps. Throwing Flynn into the corner. This has been a hard-hitting hell for leather affair. Thrust kick from Flynn stuns Jondero, and a drop kick sends him across the ring. Aiden picking him up now. Has Jondero hooked. Another German in the center of the ring. And Aiden looking to fly. Jondero in a bad way as he starts to get to his feet. Aiden Flynn looking to dive, thinks better of it, just grabs Jondero and throws him out of the ring, not giving these fans what they want to see, which is some high-flying offense. Aiden Flynn lives to disappoint, as he says. And now just the punches connecting on Jondero. Aiden reversing now. Aiden Flynn grabbed by Jondero, but used his weight advantage to dead weight him. tossed into the barrier once again. The double barriers in the corner for the fans' protection. Flynn seeing an opportunity, looking to maybe deal some damage. Good Lord. What a harsh landing for Jondero in the corner of the barriers. Once again finds himself there, but Jondero is basically backed into a corner thrust kick to the stomach. Aiden Flynn has Jondero. Looks like he may have been trying to throw him into the crowd, but Jondero countered. These front row fans are not going to get a first-person view at Jondero just yet. Aiden tossed by Jondero, and now Jondero back in the ring once again saying, bring it on, man. I'm waiting for you. And Flynn will do just that. Caught him. Drop dead from Aiden Flynn. He saw it as a challenge. 1, 2. Jondero kicks out. Aiden Flynn went for a speedy twisting drop dead, and it cost him maybe in some power. Jondero back alive, has him caught. Overdrive from Ortiz. Up to the top rope, the most devastating move in history, followed by the Warrior Splash. 1, 2. Flynn kicks out of the Warrior Splash. Jondero calling him up, could be looking for a second dead level. Hooks him, center ring, dead level. Connects. 1, 2. And Aiden kicks out. 2 for 2 on each other's biggest moves. Jondero sent onto the leg. Aiden could have a broken ankle after that. Good Lord, and Jondero back to the leg. Such a smart strategy to target it. He can't base for the Tiger Driver that well now. Jondero targeting that left leg. I think Flynn may legitimately have a reason to wear a knee brace after tonight. Up on the top. What a moonsault from Jondero Ortiz. Flawless execution. 1, 2. No, Aiden kicks out after that beautiful moonsault. Jondero Ortiz gets kicked in the face by Flynn. Tries to spin him around, but Flynn had the counter. Look at this back and forth affair. Thrust kick. Jondero put in the corner by Aiden Flynn. And now just yanking on the arm. Jondero in such a bad way. Saw him do this earlier off the ropes. Roaring elbow to Jondero Ortiz. Aiden Flynn up to the top. Shooting Stardust, but Jondero got the knees up. Both men having so many counters, but Jondero could have the final say. Dead level. Center ring trifecta. 1, 2, 3. Jondero Ortiz gets the win in an absolutely show-stealing performance. A fantastic match here tonight with Jondero getting the win. What an incredible fight that he had to put on to get the win as we move into our next match. And in our penultimate match of the evening, we have Itami taking on Alex Clark. Itami, a world-renowned kickboxer with a little bit of pro wrestling experience under his belt. An absolute devastating hard hitter. 6'4", 240 pounds of annihilation. Reminds me a lot of Antonio Inoki or Kenta Kobashi in his dedication to destruction. But he is going to have to take on a world-class competitor in Alex Clark. A man who, a year and a half, 2 years ago, you would never, ever have been considering him to be a top wrestler in the world. But he is proof that if you put the work in, you can truly be your best self. Alex Clark went from a very talented indie wrestler who had delusions of grandeur, some may say, to an all-time world beater. A man who can put himself in the pantheon of pro wrestling, and he'd even have his own exhibit, the heart and soul of pro wrestling, as some call him, Alex Clark. Looking to test Itami here. Iku looking ready for it. Alex looking ready for it. Let's get into this one. Alex with a punch, but Iku with a hip toss. We know that judo background so valuable for Itami. Dragon screw from Clark there. Dropping the knee on the arm of Itami. And now has him up. Kick from Alex. I don't know how wary I would be of kicking Itami. But Alex Clark seemingly having no fear. Big bulldog out of the corner. And now just dropping the knee on the arm, and he is showcasing what wrestling experience can do for you here. Even though Iku has a lot of combat experience, Alex definitely has the wrestling edge 100 times over. Big elbow in the midsection of Alex Clark from Iku. Look at this, a big display of power with that military press slam and an elbow as well, shining elbow at that. Goes for another kick, and once again, Alex retakes control. And now the rabbit punches from the side of the head. Alex Clark been in control of this one since the beginning with some brief respites from Iku. And now playing a little bit of mind games with the machine gun chops to Itami. The man from Kyoto is definitely fighting from underneath now. Alex Clark throws Itami over the top rope. Big forearm smash. And now big DDT on the apron. Iku is getting obliterated right now. Alex Clark locking in an inverted figure four leg lock on Itami on the floor. A TTO locked in, but Iku with the escape. Iku has his guard up, but Alex just throws him into the steps. Alex Clark is playing the experience game here, and Iku is going to need to fight from underneath and start fighting on top as Alex goes back to the leg to slam him down. Alex Clark getting back in the ring. Itami definitely not seeming like he is prepared for this kind of spotlight. Alex almost seeming like he's a little bit disappointed in the caliber of opponent he's been given. Iku caught with that double roundhouse. Pulls him in. Kame Goye from Alex Clark. And Iku's inexperience shining through. Mayhaps a humbling experience for the kickboxing champion. Alex Clark even taking the time to pander to the crowd in between, humbling Iku on the floor. Itami definitely not looking good right now. Shot to the back of the head and his jaw hitting the barrier at ringside. Shots to the midsection. Itami though, slamming Alex into the turnbuckle post. This could be what he needs. A comeback of sorts for Itami in the works maybe. Throwing Alex hither and yon. Telling him to bring it on. I like the fighting spirit of this kid. Grabbing Alex Clark by the hair and slamming him in the corner, but got a little overzealous and Alex made him pay. Iku though fighting back now. Alex grabbing him, Iku Itami not in a good spot as Alex picks him up and just guillotines him on the top rope. Iku Itami, though, with the jaw jacker to Alex Clark. Grabbing him, look at this, Alex Clark dropped with a big power slam. Iku looked like he maybe considered going for a cover, but hit the big sit instead. And Iku is starting to fire up here. Maybe that early shots were not enough to keep him down. Backdrop driver, incoming, no, the atomic drop instead. And now just laying in the punches to Alex Clark. Do you think Iku maybe baited Alex into a false sense of security as he just shoots him into the corner? This is a hell of a comeback on display by Iku Itami. Hits that shoulder tackle this time. Iku with the sit-out bomb. And a shot to the midsection as well. Iku Itami targeting that leg of Alex, but Alex bats him away. Alex went for a run, Iku caught him, used the gravity against him to hit him with a humongous power bomb, and Alex is now in a bad spot, has him hooked. Backdrop driver from Iku Itami. 1, 2, Alex barely kicked out. Iku nearly got a win over a former multiple-time champion in Alex Clark. Good God. Alex reversing. Iku needs to go to the dentist or maybe just Dr. Teeth. Alex spins him around up on the shoulders. Looking for final destination on Iku Itami. Throws him over, 1, 2, and Iku survives final destination. But Alex Clark, I don't think, is going to relent there. Poetry of silence applied, the body scissors hooked in full, and Iku's got nowhere to go. He taps. Alex Clark getting the win, but Iku Itami, I think, very impressive, sustained that long against Alex Clark. Fantastic performance by Iku, but Alex walks away with the W. Big win for the heart and soul as we move in to our next contest. And it is time for our main event here in Washington, D.C. as Dylan Hyatt, the Humbler, takes on Michael Young for the ONE-WW, the One Warrior Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. In a 2 out of 3 falls matchup, Dylan Hyatt, the son of One Warrior Wrestling alumni Axel Hyatt. Axel was never able to get the top prize in ONE-WW. Despite contending for it on a few occasions, he could never get it done, but was a 6-time ONE-WW Junior Heavyweight Champion and a 2-time Dragon Warrior Champion. Dylan Hyatt could look to, in his debut, win the world title. But he's going to have to overcome some hellacious odds, as the Bruiser Brody from the boonies, the cryptid in cowboy boots, the Hanson-esque Michael Young makes his way down the aisle. The Australian assassin, the Lord of the Lariat, a man who has a lot of nicknames, A lot of alliterative aliases, but you need only know him as Michael Young. And you may only need to know him after tonight as champion. That's what it's all about. At the end of the night, one of these men will have that championship, and one of them will be at the top of the top. 2 out of 3 falls. Let's get into this one. Dylan Hyatt grabs Mikey immediately. AHP Axel Hyatt bomb. 1, 2. He nearly got a fall immediately on Michael Young. Dylan is not here to play around. Michael Young may not be here to play around either, as he is just laying in those elbows. Mikey picks up Dylan Hyatt. 585, no, countered! German suplex by Dylan Hyatt. What a landing for Mikey, good Lord. Mikey with the German, oh my God. Michael Young, springboard attack, but Dylan had the counter. Dylan Hyatt with the punches. This is starting off hot and heavy. Dylan going for the attack in the corner, but Mikey not letting that happen. Dylan booting him off. Dylan grabs Mikey. Mikey fights him off. Shots in the stomach and a lariat in the corner. Dylan landing hard. The Lord of the Lariat grabbing Dylan by the hair. Dylan Hyatt with the TNA kick. Crossing him up. Michinoku driver. These guys are just running through classic hard-hitting offense. Dylan Hyatt with the stomp, and he's up top now. Dylan calling Mikey to his feet. Mikey's a long way away, and Dylan thinks better of it. Grabbing Mikey and tossing him in the corner. Mikey with the back elbow. Michael Young, no match for that German suplex. Good Lord, Dylan Hyatt. Wrestling at 1,000 miles an hour, goes for the knee trembler, but Mikey had the counter. Michael Young grabs Dylan Hyatt. Dylan seemingly has countered into an inverted DDT. Dylan has been on top of his counter game here tonight. Looking for the first fall here. 1, kick out at 1 by Young. The fighting spirit on display by both men as Mikey is down and Dylan circles him. Opts for a Jujikatami in the kinesiologically taped arm of Michael Young. He thought long and hard on that hold. May have given up some time for some damage, but how much damage was done to the lariating arm of Michael Young? Dylan hits him. Could be looking for a release suplex, a fire starter there by Dylan Hyatt, and now laying in the punches, and Mikey busted open right around the eye on the forehead, it looks like. Mikey with the counter. He is full of piss and vinegar as he hits that knee lift, countered, went for the brain buster. Nobody home as Dylan had the counter to that. Lariat to Mikey, another lariat. Dylan catches the leg, sweeps it, and Dylan Hyatt on fire. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Mikey kicks out at 2. Dylan Hyatt has had all the counters here tonight. Michael Young has not been able to get much in. Dylan Hyatt going back to working that arm. Grabbing Mikey, but Mikey with a knee, and that's all he needs to get Dylan off of him. Grabs Dylan here. Looking for a brain buster. Nails it! Beautifully done. Mikey going to grab an implement. Of course, very relaxed rules in world title matches. But Dylan caught him! Axel, no! Countered the Axel Hyatt bomb attempt. Mikey could have it here. 585 took his damn head off. 1, 2. kicks out. Dylan kicks out of the 585. Mikey finally hit it. Look at the power on display by Michael Young, dropping Dylan Hyatt down. Senton bomb to Hyatt. Hyatt back up, grabbing Mikey. Could be looking for another brain buster, but Mikey had the counter. Mikey runs in, Luthez, and just laying in the punches on Dylan Hyatt. Mikey busted open. And he is not done yet. Brainbuster incoming. Bloody Sunday goes for the cover. 1, 2. No, Dylan kicks out after the Brainbuster. And Mikey grabs the cane. Dylan to his feet. Yakuza kick. Took his damn head off. 1, 2. Mikey kicks out of the Yakuza. How many matches has Dylan won with that Yakuza over the year? Grabs in for the second time. Axel Hyatt bomb stacks him. 1, 2, 3. Dylan gets the first fall, but he's got to do that one more time. Grabs Mikey. Rain trigger from Hyatt. He goes up top. He's calling Mikey to attention. Diving cross body. Simple and effective by Dylan Hyatt. Rana to Mikey. Hooks it. 1, 2, 3. Dylan just stole it. Dylan just stole it and got the second fall and is the world champion. Dylan Hyatt. First he played Mikey's game, then he played his own. Dylan Hyatt gets the win, 2-0 to win the 1WW Heavyweight Championship. What a statement as we close out our broadcast.